to the Northern Knits podcast. We are two sisters in fiber coming to you from the moderately chilly Winnipeg, Manitoba. Two separate locations because Jocelyn is klutzy and has injured herself and
And I
not
have a
capable
lovely
of getting to
cough.
Diana.
I'm
It
just.
was it was my turn to come to you. To be fair, it was my
Oh,
turn to come to you. So
I'm
this is
just.
entirely my fault.
Between the two of us, we make a whole person right
I keep
now.
telling you, take my foot. I will trade you for your cough. No problem. I know how to handle a cough. Foot pain is just, I'm a wuss about it.
I see, and I don't do nearly as much walking in a day as you usually do, so I would be fine with the gimp foot. I would just
Mm-hmm.
love to be able to sleep a whole night without
Yeah.
waking up 16 billion times with a stupid cough.
Yeah. Whereas
Ah!
I'm used to the long aggravated cough settling into your chest because I've done some damage having pneumonia as often as I did as a little person. But foot pain, guys, I walk over 20,000 steps a day. When my foot hurts, I'm down for the count.
Ugh.
And somehow, with my gobbled hemp and my ability to walk exactly one direction to catch the bus, get on the bus, and maybe get around my local mall, I'm gonna have to figure out how to pick up presents for the kid for her birthday and Christmas tomorrow. And go to the doctor because I got to get a thingy for my foot. I've done it before, so I know what it is. So it's easy enough to fix, but it's mostly because I have flat feet. So
And in
big
other.
bonus in summertime when you wear flip flops, you can walk for hours and your feet don't hurt. Downside, every once in a while,
It hurts a lot.
it hurts a lot. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Ugh. I'm bending all over the place in the frame today because I was hoping to borrow Jocelyn's ball winder in Swift, but that didn't work out today, so I'm winding new sock yarn by hand.
You could have
And
come to me. I said it was your call.
I could have, but I'm. Oh gosh, it's just getting worse. You know what? I really should have. This is just. This is turning into a mess. I've got a mini skein around my knees right now, and I'm trying to wind it off onto this nostipend. And you know, it's going pretty well, except I'm getting to the end where all the tangles happen. So I'm just like bending all
You're
over weird.
more than welcome to come over any day of the week. You're free to borrow the ball winder in Swift. I'm home. It'd be
Yeah, but when am
fine.
I free?
That I can't help you with. I've got a finished dress sitting in my sewing room that's waiting for you to make sure that I took in enough space so it fits properly.
Ooh, I have a new dress. Look at that.
You do.
Ah, we'll work this out at some point.
I don't know. It's staying here till you come to fetch it because you have to bring me back the Natsu jacket and scarf because that's the project on my Ravelry I'd like to finish up.
It's true. I was just having that thought. It's they're right here behind me.
And I need to finish your coat because I've moved on to Mr. Ben's coat, and I've got that all tidied up and tucked away so it's ready for next icon for him. So I'd like to put yours on the queue for the middle of the winter sometime. So I'm like,
Mm.
because I need a break every once in a while from what I'm doing. So
We'll
not
get
that I
this.
did any sewing this week. I've been too busy.
We'll get it sorted out.
It'll happen.
Crafting
All
life's
right.
just a mess.
We've talked about the weather-ish.
It's snowing.
Jocelyn's so happy. I'm drinking out of my snowman belly mug. Snowman belly mug.
That's really
It is.
cute.
It's a snowman's belly with a scarf at the top of the mug. It's huge.
That is really cute.
I went to a place that made my choice in mugs seem normal.
Really?
I went to the Daily Grind. I finally got the chance to go there. Miss Bodie took me. It's like way, way, way past Polo Park
Oh, okay, okay.
towards
I've been there.
Brandon.
I've been
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. I
My
got
mom
their
likes that
large.
place.
I got the large. It's like a tea soup. It's huge. It's huge. It's the way a coffee and tea should come to you. It should be big.
I've got my Cozy Up Knits Knit City mug. This is the biggest mug that I own. I
I
think.
know.
I don't know. I might have mugs of a similar size, but they're a different shape, so I'm not sure. But
Nothing. Nothing bigger.
this is
Definitely
my
nothing bigger. Yeah.
among my biggest mugs, and I've got a homemade latte in here because I have one of those fancy milk frothing machines as a wedding present
Mhm.
or a wedding shower
Mhm.
present, something like that. Anyway, so I've got a Starbucks espresso blend almond latte that I did a terrible job of making.
I
Whatever.
didn't make it.
Uh,
That was the night I sent you the picture because I couldn't decide if I needed the date bar or the date cookie, so I got both.
both. Obviously, both. Both is
And then
always
I
the
ate a
answer.
vegetarian sandwich on top of it, so I only got through the cookie that night. Cause fudge was I full. That cookie was huge,
Both is always the
huge.
option.
And I took the option with a giant cup of mint tea. It was freaking delightful, delightful. All right, Diana, do you want to let everybody know what we're covering this week?
Oh, right. I'd already jumped into what's in our cup. So we've covered what's in our cup, mostly.
Well, we covered what's in your cup.
I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What's in our cup? What's in our cup? Your cup. The cup. What's in the
Yeah.
cups?
What's in the
Uh,
cups?
cool threads, woolly workings, fiber flubs, yarn on the go, so little time, wool gathering, and events. I'm sorry,
For
Jocelyn. What is in your cup? Your lovely
for
snowman cup.
yeah, for any new listeners, we are actually this discoordinated all the time. It's just,
This is
if you're a
normal.
if you're a returning listener or watcher, you're quite accustomed to us. If you're new, I'm sorry. This is just how this works. I am drinking some raspberry splash, rhubarb splash.
Rhubarb splash?
Oh,
Oh, you told me the wrong thing when I made the notes. Now I have to change it.
I I always say raspberry, and I don't know why. It's rhubarb splash.
Rhubarb splash. Okay.
Rhubarb splash from the Amsterdam Tea Room. They might still have the promotion going. I don't know. It's a wonderful little tea house cafe bar thing down in the Exchange on Benetine. But they do if you buy, they might still be doing. I bought 100 grams of the peppermint detox, which is like peppermint tea with lemongrass mix,
Oh, that sounds lovely.
which is really good, and I drink it all the time. So I bought 100 grams of that. So I got if I wanted to, I could get an additional 100 grams at equal or lesser value for half off. So I'd had the rhubarb splash before, and I was like, I think I remember really enjoying it, and I was right. So I bought 100 grams of that, figuring if I didn't, Mother loves rhubarb, so at least I knew a home I could go to.
Makes sense. Makes
So
sense.
I'm enjoying it, and I got it a half off. Go me! I mean, I would have bought it anyway, but sure, why not? Tea is good. Tea is your friend.
Tea is my friend. I needed the caffeine hit of espresso to actually be awake today because this cough settled in either Monday night after we recorded last or it was Tuesday morning the next day. And
I
I
think it
have
was
not
probably
had
Tuesday morning. 'Cause you weren't really coughing last week.
no, I think it was Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday afternoon because I was talking a lot on Tuesday because I was like mentoring our new co-op student. He sits next to me. So I was like explaining all this stuff about how our code works, and I was just like hacking up a lung, and I had to leave like 3 times to make tea and get new water, and it was
It was a
bad.
hot mess.
And
Hot
yeah,
mess, was
so
it?
I haven't
Oopsies.
slept more than maybe 3 or 4 hours at a stretch since last Monday night, and it is now Sunday. I'm
Hmm.
so effing tired. I just want to sleep.
On the bright side, that everyman thing really trained you for this, right?
Yeah, except then I got sick and gave it up. Ugh. It was that
All
second nap
right.
just couldn't handle it. I would love to
I
go
could
back
never
to
get
six
to it.
hours in a nap, but that's just when I'm sick. That is not enough sleep for me. I need more sleep. I
Well,
need
when the
like
human
eight
body's
hours in a
sick,
nap.
it does need sleep. That's a thing.
Anyway, woe's me, woe's me.
Are you done complaining about your cold?
No, never.
Oh, all right. As long as you know what you're doing.
I can complain about more stuff.
No, I don't think people need a complainy person podcast.
Okay.
Technically, we're a knitting podcast. We probably should talk about our knitting.
There's yarn here. Whatever.
Hmm.
Okay, next section. Cool threads. What have you been wearing this week?
This week I was pretty exclusively wearing my Tracy shawl by Joji Locatelli that I knit out of ancient fiber yarns in the colorways Get Off My Lawn and Hearthside. I really love those colors. They're great colors.
Just
And I've been wearing my coffee shop shawl, which I did out of a Burnett Premium Tweed in the chocolate colorway because they look good with my blue raincoat, which is now transitioned into my later fall, early winter purple double-breasted wool coat.
Nice.
So much wordage going on. And I wore the mitts Diana made me for Christmas last year.
Ooh, I'm so glad they're getting used.
Mm-hmm. It's the right weather for them.
Excellent. I'm gonna have to make myself a pair of those. I still have a whole bunch of the thrumming fiber, and I think I have enough bulky yarn of either. I don't think I have enough of the ones that I made yours, the yarn that I made yours out of, but I also had some alpaca that I made some for my mom out of, and I think I've got more of that.
Worst case scenarios, stripe them.
Also true.
Put all three colors together.
Oh, you know what? I think I have about, I don't know, 50 grams of some super bulky leftover from a yarn tasting that we did at Woolsley Wool like a year and a half ago. But then they
Oh,
put it,
geez.
but it was the yarn that they used at the yarn tasting, and then they just reballed it and sold it at half off. So I picked it up.
Right.
So it's that green stuff.
That would look really good.
Yeah, with the white thrumming.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm making some mitts.
Done and done. Woohoo. What were your cool threads this week?
My cool threads, socks, hats, standard socks and hats. If you would like to see those, you can just look at like any cool threads from like 2 weeks ago and back. So I'm not going to talk about those.
At any
And
point where you mostly see Diana with a head,
pretty
odds
much,
are
yeah.
pretty good she's got one of her hats on.
Uh, the newest addition to my current wardrobe is the Rivers wrap, which I have on my chair behind me,
Mm-hmm.
because it is glorious and perfect in every way, and it matches all of my coats, and it's warm and woolly and giant and perfect, and I love it so much.
And you did a Stephen West-esque photograph that I put up on Instagram the other day.
Oh, I haven't even looked.
So I was talking to your husband about it because I wasn't sure where your phone was because it was giving you trouble and you hadn't replied. So I figured I'd kick the bucket. So I bugged your husband because technically he'd taken the photo anyway. So I was like,
Right.
hey, can I steal that photo you posted on Facebook of your wife and her scarf? I'd like to use it on the Instagram. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, it's we're on. You can find us on Instagram as Northern Knits Podcast. But our latest photo is Diana pretending she's Stephen West, with her scarf wrapped all around her face. It's a really good photo. It turned out really well.
Excellent. I'll have to actually go and look at it because I haven't seen it since it was on the tiny little camera screen.
This is why I do some of the social media work, you guys.
Yeah. For the record, my phone was still working. I had just gone to bed at like 9:30 that night, and I think you texted me at like 10,
Yeah,
which
but
is
10's
normally a
normally a safe time to
that's normally a
text you.
perfectly acceptable time to text me just that night, like because I've been so tired. I was in bed at
Yeah.
9:30.
So then I generally don't worry about it unless it's been over 12 hours, because then I know you've seen it.
Generally a safe assumption.
Yeah. Yeah. So for you, you don't go 12 hours without looking at your phone.
Generally not.
No. So that's a safe window. And then I hadn't heard. I was like, oh, I wonder if her phone's giving her grief. So I'll text her husband, who it's safe to say is on his phone at least every 6 hours, if not more.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll catch one of the two of them. It'll happen. I just don't know which one I'll catch. So I caught him and we got it all sorted out. So that worked fine.
Excellent. Aha! I finished winding the yarn.
Good for you.
Oh, wait, there's a little fluff on there. Where's the? Oh, there.
Shall we move over to some woolly workings?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I didn't ask you how many projects you have. So you have the grand total. Who's going first?
I'm gonna say I have 3. It's more like 2 1/4.
I have 3. How can you have 2 1/4?
Oh, it's 3.
Jesus. You go first, lady. 3 1/4.
All right. Well, I was just holding up this yarn, so maybe I'll start with that.
Yep, that works.
So this is Raisin the Bar, raisin as in dried grape. It is going to be the contrast color that goes with Dingle Dop from Midnight Cravings that I got at Knit City, and this is going to be my next pair of socks that I'm going to cast on when we're done podcasting because I didn't bring the needles in here. They're in the living room. But I'm
Good
so
job.
excited. This purple glows. I love this purple so much. So that is my newest pair of socks that I just started working on. And by working on, I
Oh, my
mean
foot.
winding.
Poor, poor foot. Poor foot.
And now that I've finished winding that, I can get closer, because I don't want to wind that other skein right now.
I will quickly show this hot mess, which is my 2 socks separated for a heels, in the Cup of Joe colorway by Ali from Die For You. I started my heel and I done goofed, so we'll talk more about my socks later.
Aw, poor socks.
And I'll put them back down now, because I have to try to fix it on my own because you're not coming over today. Ooh, crap.
I am sorry about that.
It's okay. I was supposed to come to you, so I'll wing it. Worst case scenario, it's a super hot mess when you get it next week.
Oh, I
I've done
apologize
it to her before.
for the beeping on and off of my microphone. I'm hitting the mute button on my headphones every time I have to cough, so you don't have to listen to me cough my soul out through my lungs.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna get a lot of that when my mom comes down to visit next week because she's got a chronic cough. So, do you want to go on to your next item?
Yeah. So I've started new socks, which means I finished my old socks. Haha!
Mm-hmm.
I finished my June socks. I checked Ravelry right before this. I started these in June.
Yeah, I knew they were your June socks.
It is October.
Yep.
But here we go. These are my June cinema socks. The speckle. This is a set from Midnight Cravings that Jocelyn brought me back from Saskatoon
Yep.
in the spring. Yeah, so it's the speckle is a white base with, hold it up here, teal and navy blue and mustard yellow. And then the teal is the contrast for the heels and toes. I did them toe up with a standard wedge toe and a fish lips kiss heel. And the pattern was the sort of pattern was Les Chaussettes de la Schtroumpfette,
Mm-hmm.
which meant this nice little cable right up the back, which was super cute. Is there anything else I needed to say about the socks?
Man, every time you say cable, my brain just goes, "Did you see Jackie's sock?"
I did see Jackie's sock.
Oh my God, you guys, we've got a girlfriend. She was actually the unofficial, official, unpaid intern,
Yep.
taking all those wonderful photos for us at Knit City, and she's over the knee on her first knee-high cabled sock. Over the knee-high cabled sock.
That's like her
Crazy.
third project or something.
Yeah, like ever.
Yeah, I.
I'm like, well, there's no more excuses for me not trying stuff. Oh boy.
Yeah, really. Third project, knee high, over the knee cabled socks,
Yep. Yep.
and they
All
look
right.
gorgeous. So
Can no longer say it's too scary to try something because apparently
yeah, I
the
mean,
bar has been set really high.
took me 6 years to take on the Even Star shawl, and I only did that because I had the deadline of marriage. I
That's
would
because
not have tackled that if I didn't have the deadline of marriage.
you decided that was going to be your wedding shawl.
Yeah, I
Nobody
did.
made that decision.
Oh no, I decided that like 3 years into my knitting career when I came across it on Ravelry,
That's fair.
and I decided that when I get married, that's gonna be my wedding shawl. And then I think it was the day after Chris proposed, I was like, oh crap, now I need to actually make that crazy, crazy shawl.
If she hadn't
Oh
told me, I wouldn't have made her.
no, entirely self-imposed. Anyway,
Fair.
socks. Those socks will make another reappearance in Fiber Flubs. But
Yes, they
let's move
will.
on to happier things. What else have you been working on?
Happier things.
Happier things.
You guys, we're having problems with socks. All right, I'm looking in the wrong place because the camera's in the opposite location this week. Don't know why I did that, but that's what I did. I am working on the test knit, which I double checked and confirmed. Yes, I can talk about. And by talk about, I mean say the pattern name for. So I am, hang on, I'm going to switch the camera over here to me so I'm on screen. I'm working on the Missoula made dress
Ooh.
for, ooh, Criminies. It's a good thing you wrote down the designer's name because I've just gone and forgotten it.
Knitorious Knits.
Thank you.
Like
I am
notorious, but knits.
into my second stripe. I am test knitting the largest size because I am not a tiny woman. So this is 408 stitches on my tiny 32-inch cord,
Dang.
and it really needed to be a 40-inch cord. I just didn't have a 40-inch cord at a 5mm. So she is squished up on there nice and good. So we're ruffling fantastically.
It
But
looks
I
cute.
am 9 inches, and I had cast on last week. So I did 9 inches this week,
Nice.
which is a lot of inches at 408 stitches around.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So I'm almost done my second ball of color, and I'm working on Cascade 220 colors. So there are no names, which is kind of both good and bad because then you can't mispronounce the name. It currently lives in my dragon fiber bag coffee cappuccino bag. My third color is prepped and ready to go. It still comes off really dark black colored. It's not black, guys. It's a brown. Like I posted in the Winnipeg knitting group that we're a part of hats that had small sections of black color work, like little bats and witch
I meant
hats.
to look at that, and I haven't looked at that.
And black ribbing. And I've already asked Diana how much I need to bribe her to make me those because I cannot knit in black. It doesn't matter how small the quantity is. I cannot tell where the yarn is at all. It's just a blob. So
I
I'm
will
like,
investigate the pattern, and then I'll let you know how much of a bribe that would require.
crap, I really want one of those damn cheesy kid Halloween hats.
Okay, I'll look at it after this.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's the big thing I've been working on this week because I work on that during the weekday and then on the weekend I take a break and work on other things. Otherwise, I'd go crazy. Crazy. So, what's next for you, my dear?
Oh. So I progressed a little bit on my flax sweater in that I finished, washed, blocked in so far as I don't know. I washed my swatch. I swatched
You wash.
and
You washed your swatch.
I washed my swatch the way that I would wash the sweater,
Yeah.
and it released absolutely no color, so that's fantastic.
Mhm.
And then I was measuring my gauge. So it's supposed to be 18 stitches over 4 inches.
Yep.
This is 17 stitches over 4 inches.
Ooh, that'll be a little tighter than you're thinking. How much ease do you get in that pattern?
Well, it's got less stitches than it's supposed to, so that would make it end up. Anyway, so I either need to math or I need to use smaller needles, or I need to knit with my other hand. I did this entire swatch left-handed. You can see it's a little wobbly. Wait, is this upside down? I can't tell. It's a little wonky because I started out knitting the Stephen West left-handed way, and then that was going to be way too loose. So then I ripped that out and knitted again using the Norwegian method, which I learned off of the Arnie and Carlos videos.
Yeah.
And so that was better, but I think I may just need to knit it right-handed because that's how I get my tightest gauge, and I think that's the only way I'm going to fit an extra stitch across 4 inches.
Probably, yeah.
So I need to knit another swatch, is where that's at.
This is why we knit swatches.
I know.
It's a lot better to have discovered it in the swatch than when you're 2/3 done a sweater.
I know, but I was really excited to start the sweater. But yeah, then it would have been really, really small.
I tend to cheat. If there's a full sleeve pattern in the sweater, I make my sleeve my swatch gauge because I can start my sleeve down at the cuff, and then when it gets big enough that I've started my increases, I'll wash and block that section of it, and then I'll do my measurements, and if my gauge is right, I finish my sleeve. If my gauge is wrong, I'm just ripping out part of a sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Can't help
this
you with that.
one, the flax, I believe it's a free pattern. So this is the
Hmm.
flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. It is super basic, top-down raglan, I think.
I have not read the pattern in a while, so
You know
we're
what? I
relying
have
on
it
you, my
right
dear.
here on my shiny new phone. I can tell you, maybe, if I can. I'm still learning this new phone. It is a knit seamlessly from the collar to the cuffs. It is a raglan. It is a raglan. Yes,
All
it is a
right.
raglan.
Wonderful.
But you do the. I've only like sort of skimmed the pattern, but I do believe you knit the collar first, and then you put some of the yarn on, or rather, then you do like your yoke increases, yada yada, and then you put your sleeve stitches on waist yarn and knit the body, and then you go back and do the sleeves. So there's no seams, so I can't knit a sleeve first and use that as my swatch, is where I'm going with this.
Yeah, because it's not bottom up, it's top down.
Yep.
What I might recommend is rather than putting your sleeves on hold till you're done the body of your sweater, knit your sleeves because you'll find it a lot easier to turn an entire sweater if there's no if there's like doing your arms
Oh,
if
that's
you're
a good
not
point.
turning a whole body of a sweater and an arm when you're just turning an arm.
This is true.
Just a
Mm,
thought.
that is a thought. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
I will.
And then you can take that photo when you're half done the body and it looks like a sweater's literally falling off your needles.
That'd be fun, actually.
All of my sweaters have been bottom up till now, so I've been able to knit my sleeves separately.
You know what? That's really smart, doing the arms first. I'm
Can't remember
going
where I heard
to.
it from, but I heard it from somewhere. I
That is so
consume
smart.
enough media. I don't actually know who told me that tidbit, but my brain was like, yes, that makes so much sense.
That's really. That's really smart. Okay, this is a free pattern, so I have no problems showing this here. These are
Oh,
the
yeah.
lovely. Oh, come on. There we go.
Oh, the poor cough is returned.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
It happens.
Here are here's the lovely diagram
Hmm.
where you do the collar and then the increases, and then you're supposed to join it and do the body. So I'm thinking if you just no, don't go dark. Um, I'm thinking if you just join it, do a couple of rows to solidify the join, and then yeah, put the body on waist yarn and do the sleeves,
Hmm.
and then you're not flapping a whole sweater over. That's really smart. I'm gonna do that.
I know, 'cause some of the sweaters I've been looking at are top down, and Harvest is one of the ones I want to make, and my brain was like, I do not want to, at my size, be flipping a freaking entire body of a sweater to work on a sleeve. I'm going to do the sleeves first.
That is so smart.
Hmm. Because I always
Okay.
order extra yarn for my height on a lot of sweaters that are worsted weight, because I have to do math to adapt my bust measurement to my waist measurement, because they're quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I complain about it a lot, but they're my measurements, so, it is what it is. Ooh, I suppose I should talk about my next thing, shouldn't I?
Probably.
Probably. Maybe I don't wanna. Maybe I'll keep you guys in suspense. Nah, I won't. It's my Halloween bag!
Halloween bag. The Halloween
Why
bag was
can't I
from.
remember?
Oh,
These were freaking amazing ladies.
so into knitting.
Thank you. Why can't I remember that? God, my brain.
So is in sewing, for the record. These will be linked in the show notes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I am working on my goldfish memory shawl. It's all the stuff because you never break the yarn, so you get tangled yarn syndrome, which is totally okay. I'm into section 2. I put after recording last week, I put Jack on so we could
Oh,
see
he's
how
so
far
cute.
we'd travel. My mom and dad got me Jack the Stitch marker for Christmas last year.
That's really cute.
So I am working this out of Die For You, colorways, criminies, something blush,
Don't make me
and
blush.
don't make me blush, but what was the white one?
Oh.
Oh yeah. It's gonna take me the entire shawl to remember what the white one's called, you
Is that
guys.
the one that had the flex that was like something about?
Yes.
Now that was a campfire. No, that
It
was a
might be
different one.
no. That's a different one.
Do you have the
But
ball bands in there?
I might still have them tucked in here. So I haven't added color 3 yet, but I'm on to section 2, which is really good. The third color, which is my red one, which is a knitted wolf luxury yarns, and I lost the ball band in light and shadow.
There we go.
The white one's in light and shadow. So I haven't started the don't make me blush, but the red is knitted wolf luxury yarns. Just one of the skeins I won from them, and that was amazing. And I love their yarn. And then the other two are Alley for Die for You, and I love her yarn as well too. So you can see my shape has started to occur because it's on a bias when it's finished.
Very nice.
But I'm into some little stripes right now, so
I love the cute little stripes and like the little pearl bumps that make the dashes. That looks so good.
I know. It's really enjoyable, and I love the fact that it's like every 5 rows you switch to a different pattern. So I'm not getting bored, and it's really easy to track my progress.
Nice.
So this is my weekend knitting, or when I'm out knitting, because it's nice and easy, and the rows are only a short number of stitches, and they stay that way. It's a paid pattern, so it's Goldfish Memories by Casapinka, and I am happy to be working on that. But that's it for my projects.
All right. That
Twitter's
brings
talking to me.
that brings us to fiber flubs. I was looking at my
Mm-hmm.
show notes and I'm like, sock ends? What segment is that? No, that's my notes about what the fiber flub is that I had to talk about.
I don't like spending a lot of time talking about things that have gone wrong. There's things that go wrong, but it's always important to sort of highlight that it doesn't matter how long you've been knitting, people done goof.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on my Cup of Joe colorway socks here, but I knit a row when I should have purled while doing my heel.
Oh
So I
no.
have a bump on the wrong side of my sock.
Oh
And I'm
no.
and I am desperate to cast on my Halloween socks. So I am not waiting for Diana. We're going to wing it. And I'm going to try to pull the stitches off the needle and tink back. This is going to be interesting.
I mean, the other
Might have to restart these socks next week, you guys.
the other option is you can drop the stitches down and change which way they're facing.
It's across the whole row.
Yeah, it would be super tedious. It might actually
It
be
would be
faster to just tink back.
just tink. Absolute worst case scenario, I lose a bunch of rows, I roll it up really tight, and I bring it to you the following week and just pull it off the needles. And either you can rescue it, or I'm starting the sock again. I'm not putting that kind of effort. They're socks. I can knit them again. This is not like I'm making the roam or anything. It's not that big a deal.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try once we're done recording to just give her and see if I can make it work. And if I can't, I can't. And I tried, and that's the important part.
Yes, learning.
Always learning.
Can't learn if you don't try, or
It's
something.
a true story. It's true. You can't learn if you don't try. All right, that's it for my fiber flub. Short and sweet, because there's no point in dragging that nonsense out.
All right. I'm going to bring my socks back because bad week for socks.
Barely.
One very minor flub. This cable on the back. The
Yep.
pattern says it should have 3 pearls on either side of the knit cable.
Okay.
But on my second sock, I did not consult the pattern and I thought it was 4. So one sock has 3 pearls on either side and the other sock has 4. Oh well. The math still worked out that they're centered, so I don't really care. Nobody's
Is there a
looking
sheet
that
of
closely.
paper thrown under my door?
What's paper under your door?
I don't know. There's a piece of paper on my floor, and I don't know when it got there.
Oh.
I didn't put it there. And it's definitely a white piece of paper on my brown floor, so...
I don't know, maybe Phaedra's leaving you notes.
If my cats learned how to write, we're cash cow on that.
The other problem with my socks is right before we started recording, I was weaving in the ends on my socks so that I could say I had properly finished socks. And I
Yep.
thought I had finished weaving in all of the ends on my socks, so I cut them off.
Uh-huh.
Only
Yep.
to discover that I do believe it's this sock in that little hole That little hole
Uh-huh.
right there where the corner where the heel meets the body, the corner of the
Mm-hmm.
heel meets the body of the sock.
Yep.
I trimmed those ends,
Yep.
and I hadn't woven them in yet.
Well done.
So I gave them a nice little tug and I tied them in a cute little square knot, and it's just gonna be a minor annoyance because, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Got all the way done. Like,
Uh-huh.
done. Like, ends woven in and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and I just missed weaving in a couple of ends before I trimmed them, and I'm just. it's. Uh, you know?
You sufficiently angered with yourself?
Just so irritated with myself. And I accidentally deleted my Goodreads account today, and I just.
See that I get to make fun of you for.
I
Everybody
just.
misses ends every once in a while, but I don't think I've ever accidentally deleted an account to anything. I've unsubscribed from podcasts before on accident, but I've never deleted an account.
I just. I just don't know anymore. I,
That's
I
it. You're done.
literally can't even. Where's
Literally
my pumpkin
can't
spice
even.
latte and my Uggs? I literally can't even.
Upstairs with my niece, the Uggs anyway.
Yarn on the go. Your yarn went places. Mine did not.
My yarn went places. We first went to the Knit and Nosh on Tuesday, which happens every other Tuesday down and across the board on Bannatyne, 211 Bannatyne Avenue. From 1 to officially 4 o'clock, but it's usually 1 to whenever people's money runs out on their metered car parking spaces. We all know how that goes down in the exchange. It can be quite pricey. So, not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday will be the next one. So, I am there every Tuesday if I'm not in town. I think I'm quite religious about it because, oh my God, I love their lunch specials. They had a mushroom penne.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It was so good. So I worked on my goldfish memories because I really, really needed a break from my Missoula made dress. So I took both, but I worked on the goldfish memories. And I took a picture of both because that's what I do. And then on Tuesday, Fran told me about a Barocco yarn tasting that Wolseley Wool was having on Saturday. And she said if I had $10, she'd go pay my entry for the yarn tasting so I could have a spot saved. So I did that, and on Saturday I went to Wolseley Wool and played with fancy new yarn.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we tried 6 different types of Barocco yarns. They all came in cute little bundly dudes with
Aw.
tags. This is really cute. It's some of the best done sort of sample yarn that I've ever seen. So they had 3 fingering weights, which I've not knit up into samples yet for my have
Oh,
for
those are
samples
nice.
for
I
home.
like those nice neutral colors.
All the options by the time they got to me were neutrally, and I wasn't going black, so I picked light neutrals. The Pixel color works. It's a variegated, and that was really nice. And I was like, oh, that's enjoyable. I like that. There's more info and stuff, but I can't read the sheet. The Sky, they're not sure about carrying, but it's a nice lightweight blend. I
Hmm.
think this is the one that's got some viscose in it. What I'm most interested in is this bad boy here,
It looks
which I
fuzzy.
have to. It is quite fluffy, but its core is cotton.
Hmm.
So the core, yeah, because this is the Brielle. So the core is cotton and it's only 10% wool.
Neat.
So at 10% wool, mom might be able to use it. So I have to knit a swatch on this and I have to get it done before mom gets into town so she can, so it's washed and blocked properly so she can rub it on her face. Because she would like some like natural wool and cotton stuff. And I said I would totally make it for her, but we have to find one she can wear.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to do that because that needs to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
But there was 3 more, and I got the other 3 swatches done. So I was knitting swatches last night, you guys. I'm terribly exciting as a human being.
Hey, you know what? Swatches are important.
This is the Ultra Wool DK, and
Ooh.
I did all of these on 8mm needles.
That looks nice.
So it's nice and fluffy. The Ultra Wool is their super wash. And since it's a DK, that'd be really great for, say, those Saubu mitten patterns I keep eyeballing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to size those up, her patterns are designed so you just use a larger needle and you're good to go. I have the spare yarn wrapped around it so I can see the yarn and I can see the stitch count that it gets on the 8mm.
Nice.
So these will fold out and I'll stick them in sheets of whatever that plastic stuff is called and stick it in a binder because that's
Oh,
what I do
those
with it.
sheet protector things?
Yeah, that stuff.
Page protector? Whatever those things. Yeah.
Sheet protectors, page protectors. I don't know. There's something.
The
I use
plasticky
them for
things.
D&D notes. I'm sure they serve another purpose, but that's not what I use them for.
Best use I ever saw for them was D&D related.
Yep.
Uh, somebody one of my work friends plays in a lot of campaigns, and so they have a binder of all their character sheets. So they have
Yes.
PDFs of like the standard stuff on their character sheet that doesn't change like barely ever. And
Yeah.
then they stick it in a page protector, and then the spots for like status effects and like items and HP and stuff like that.
They just write over.
Yeah, it's just blank, so they write it with a dry erase marker on top of the page protector.
Yep, I've seen that done. It's great. It's really
So
handy.
smart.
Yeah. So the second one I did was Mercado, which is another a bulky for them.
Okay.
I like Barocco yarns, so I was excited to try their new stuff because we're getting into sweater making, right?
Yep.
Then we hit the one where I bought some.
Ooh.
So it's called Arrow. It's a bulky, and I mean it's a bulky, but I don't know if you remember how long ago. Within the last year or year and a bit, people have started talking about that fiber where it's actually a nylon tube and the fiber's blown into it.
Okay, okay.
I don't know how up to date you are on fancy new yarn trends. Jocelyn likes weird construct yarn. So this
Interesting.
is a nylon tube that they've blown the fiber into to make a bulky thread.
That's so interesting. It looks sort of like roving.
It really does. It knits fantastic because I obviously was working on a swatch the other day while I
Okay,
was at
show
the
the sauce.
store.
What is that?
So this is what it looks like knit up.
That looks
This is
so
again, it's on 8 millimeters,
good. Okay, I want like
and
a
it is.
sweater out of that because that looks
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, I bought the cardigan pattern and a sweater's weight worth of this yarn because it comes in 165 yards per skein at a bulky weight, and normally you, if you're lucky, you get 50 yards per bulky skein, and it weighs nothing. Odessa was there. She had her finished one there. Like I bought the Barocco cardigan pattern and the yarn that day because I'm like, I have 9 millimeters at home in a circular. I'm
Yeah.
making this cardigan.
Oh,
And
that's
it
gorgeous.
variegates, so it does its own gradation and everything.
Oh,
So
that's
that
gorgeous.
happened yesterday, and I'm
Okay, I'm
really
looking up that
excited to
link.
try
I'm
it.
gonna look up the Barocco sweater link, and that's going in the show notes.
Yep, I'm gonna have to make sure you get the right stuff here, but I did. I bought 7 balls. 7 in a green colorway
That looks lovely.
of the
Ooh.
Barocco Arrow. And it is dumb light, like really, really light. The sweater weighed nothing on Odessa. And it only takes 6.9 balls
Ooh.
for me.
Something fell.
I have stuff, no, I've got stepping stone in my head. So it's 7 balls of yarn for me, which is totally fine. That's doable. And because it's a gradient skein, if I need an extra ball, I can just go get one ordered.
Nice.
I was talking with Mo about it, so she's like, "Yeah, we'll just order you another ball if you get run short and you want to extend your sleeves or something." I'm like, "Perfect." But from where it was hanging, it looks like the pattern itself hangs low, so I should be good to go. So it should hit me in the right spots theoretically. And I have the pattern name. I took a picture of the name because obviously it's in my Ravelry. So, but yeah, I saw another one where they had the what's the one I'm looking for? A poncho done in the same stuff.
Okay.
So excited about it. So yeah, I took some pictures of the patterns and stuff so that I could look up the pattern later. I don't know. It's one of the pictures in there. I took a lot of photos yesterday.
All right.
I
I'll look it
thankfully
up
did
and I'll link
not
it.
win the pattern book collection, which was one of the things they gifted away because I couldn't read the pattern book collection. So like I gotta, it's bought on Ravelry because I need it on my phone, but it's in the new Barocco stuff. So excited because I love Barocco. It's
I
a
think
really good yarn.
I knit a hat for my brother out of I think it was vintage.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, it was so good. I think it was acrylic and it just felt so lovely and soft.
Big bag of yarn.
Oh, big bag of yarn.
It was less than $200. This is
Nice.
the other Joe of Barocco. It is a well-priced workhorse yarn and has acrylic blends, so like you get some sturdiness in there. So it's less likely to felt on me. Lord knows I accidentally throw things in the washing machine I'm not supposed to. I could blame it on being blind, but I just don't pay attention. I think it has anything to do with my eyesight. I just stop paying attention. But that was it for my yarn on the go. I got around and I did stuff last week. Not this week, I don't think.
I've just been. If I'm not at work, I've been asleep. I've barely even done knitting this week. I don't know.
So squishy, 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 squishy.
It looks squishy. I'm
It is so
envious.
squishy.
I want to reach through the screen and squish the yarn.
You'll have to come over and borrow my ball winder this week.
I will. Let's see. Oh, a very brief little so little time.
Oh, yes.
I finally bought myself fabric shears and straight pins. Because despite having fabric and patterns and a sewing machine and thread,
Uh-huh.
didn't have scissors or pins.
I'm just going to say it again. Pins you use to block your knits are not pins you use in your fabric.
I know. And
They are different types of
I
pins.
know. Anyway, so I have like 450 straight pins now and some
Good,
lovely
that'll do
purple
you for a
fabric
while.
shears.
Good. Of course they're purple fabric shears.
It was purple or pink. Like those were the options. They were purple or pink.
Mine are black.
They're black with a purple outline. So.
Oh, no, mine are hardcore black. I don't know where my mom found them, but my mom's good that way, so that's fine. I'm glad you have proper fabric shears and that you have proper straight pins. And if your husband uses your fabric shears to cut anything other than fabric, kill him.
I told him that was how it was going to work, and he said, okay.
You never use your fabric shears for anything but fabric.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is what they are for.
I know.
They're expensive.
I mean, these are Walmart ones, so I'm pretty sure they're just like sharp scissors, but
I will have you come over and try my proper good $70 fabric shears. You won't go back. I will spoil you for fabric shears. But my niece understands. She dies if she touches my fabric shears. My brother-in-law doesn't touch any of my scissors because he doesn't know which ones are the fabric shears. You do not touch my fabric shears. I will kill you.
fair.
I will bury your body, and I know enough people who will give me an alibi because they also sew. You do not touch the fabric shears.
Do not touch the fabric shears.
Everybody who listens and watches us who sews is just looking at the screen right now going, yeah, yeah, uh-huh. You don't touch the fabric shears.
All right.
You ruin them if you use them on anything else, and then they're not sharp. You need to get a clean line, and that just messes everything up.
Yeah.
I'm done my rant. I'm good. I'm sorry.
So some wool gathering.
There's always wool gathering.
What wool are we gathering this week?
I've got the Patrons mostly fully updated for everybody. I figured I'm still having problems with the editing software I'm using, so I'm going to try something different. Not the editing software. It's just me.
Fair enough.
It's always me. I understand it's me. It's fine. And it occurred to me in the whole year that we've been running a sock thing, because we've been running the year of the sock this year, we keep forgetting that a podcast we both listen to on a regular basis, like weekly, because that's when they come out, the Knitmore girls have a Operation Sock Drawer, and we've never mentioned it.
Oh my gosh, have we actually not?
I don't think so. Or if we have, it was in January.
Oh.
Oops. That's bad.
Yeah.
I was listening this morning and my brain went, have we ever mentioned the hashtag Operation Sock Drawer? Are people double entering their socks the way they should be? I don't know. Now I'm like, oh, bad podcaster.
Yep. Hashtag bad podcaster.
It's not been good, you guys. So if I haven't, I am so sorry because I listen to the Knitmore girls every week. I love Jasmine and Gigi. They're a delight. So it's like, oh, crud.
Oops.
That's not good. So that was my wool gathering this week, was that. And if you ever get the chance and you're near a local yarn store and they do a yarn tasting, do it.
Yarn tastings are excellent. Very, very tasty.
We get really, really lucky with Woolsey Wool because they almost always sort of offer perks for that weekend. So you can spend up to a certain amount and you get your ticket price back, or they have a discount on the yarn you've been yarn tasting and stuff. So like I took full advantage because they were kind enough to offer those. And having said that, don't go there unless you want another sweater's quantity of yarn, or do go there and spend your money, because they've got some wonderful bulky stuff in right now.
Okay, can't go. Have too much yarn.
No, you don't. You have less than me. You're still fine.
By too much yarn, I mean it doesn't all fit in the giant bin that it's supposed to all fit in.
I would argue that no reasonable knitter only keeps their knitting in a giant bin.
That's just the unknit yarn. That's not the ends
Well,
that are
yeah.
decoratively displayed in a bowl. That's not all the
No,
works in progress that are piled up next to
no,
my knitting chair.
no, I'm not counting any of those. I'm just counting stash yarn. No reasonable collector of any sort of hobbying has it in one tiny compact space. No matter what they tell you, they're lying. It's everywhere. That's what happens when you're a hobbyist. Doesn't matter what your hobby is. It's everywhere.
So, yeah, I think I need to
Everywhere.
reorganize my closet over here that I'm looking at right now, which is weird because it's got a giant mirror and I'm
Was it
talking to
ever
myself.
organized?
Um, it's like 75% organized. It could use a set of shelves, but it's not bad.
So it's at the same place it was over a year and a half ago when you showed me the closet.
Yeah, the problem now is that with all the wedding stuff, a bunch of stuff kind of got piled in front of it, so it's just to
It's a
clean the
hot mess.
thing. There's like 5
Mhm.
steps in front
Mhm.
of organizing the closet properly.
Yeah, I'm hearing this excuse. It's getting longer and longer.
I know. I know.
But I'd have to clean everything out first and then organize it and then buy the shelves, put everything back in the space.
No, it's
Or I
legit.
could
I
just leave
have
it as a
like
giant pile on the floor.
I need I need a second bin first of all to corral the yarn so that I have
Mhm. Mhm.
uh space in which to reach the closet to move
Yep.
stuff to put shelves in to put
Uh-huh.
the stuff
I know.
back in on and then
I've
fit all
seen
the
your
stuff.
office.
Yeah, it's yeah. You can see some of the box problem right here in the corner of my frame. Wait, there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen your office. I know what it's like off frame.
Yeah.
Frightening.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you can't see it. Like, you can see the kitchen in my background. You can't see all of the dishes stacked that I have to do once I'm done this. I don't want to stand. It hurts. You're not the only one. All adults make excuses as to why their stuff doesn't get done. You
Yep.
are not alone, my dear.
Okay. Good. I'm justified
Hmm.
then.
You, sure. I was not going to go with that word, but
Justified,
yeah,
vindicated.
yeah.
Um
Vindicated works. I don't think we can say it's a justification. I just think we're lazy and need to get our work done.
yeah. Yeah.
I could do my dishes on a regular basis. I choose to knit and watch anime instead. I understand the decision I have made,
Has
and
consequences
it's
of piles of
nobody's fault
dishes.
but my own.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
So that works. What do we got next? I think we're just on to events, aren't we?
that is it. That's the last section and then we're done.
I'm sure everybody loves listening to us babble. We're in the home stretch. It's October, which means there's only October, November, and December, and Year of the Sock is over.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Yeah. Jazz
Jocelyn
hands.
just started worrying, what are we going to make year 2019? If 2018 was Year of the Sock, what's 2019?
Year of the whip.
Just, just, just tumbleweeds rolling through the podcast right now. You got nothing.
Year of
So
the
it is a
sweater. Year of the I don't know. Give it some
hashtag
thought.
knit along, hashtag Year of the Sock. And if you enter our Ravelry monthly threads with a finished pair of adult socks, you get an entry into the big prizes at the end of the year, which, oh, I got to order for. Go me.
It's getting to that time of year.
Oh, jeez. Well, I was supposed to order it this week because we have a winner for the 500 giveaway on Instagram. It's Annie. And I said I had to apologize because I'm missing one piece for her giveaway prize. And I was supposed to order it this week and I didn't. So, yep, there we
Oops.
go.
Oops.
Jocelyn's bad. But as soon as I've got them in, I will send everything out. So that's fine. If you get more than one pair of socks in, you get more than one entry. If you want to enter your sock into 12 other sock knit alongs plus ours, that's fine. Do it. I
Yep.
think that's a great idea.
Win all the
So,
things for your socks.
absolutely. That is the only thing we're currently actively running. The Across the Prairies Cal is technically done.
You'll notice it was absent from my works in progress this week.
Ugh, Diana has to the end of October, for sure.
Yep.
Early November, Jocelyn will start bugging her. Early to mid-November, Jocelyn will have lost her patience and we will close that knit along. So if you're still working on it, you have a few more weeks before Jocelyn says, that's it, I'm done, we're closing this thread. If
Yeah.
you finished it on time, you get 2 entries. I made a spreadsheet for it.
Oh, good. You're so organized.
Because people who finished on time should be rewarded for doing so. People
Mm-hmm.
who did not finish on time, Diana, should still have a chance to enter, even if it's less of a chance than people who finished on time. I think that's fair. All the other podcasts are doing their draws, so we are the last holdouts. So, and if you think it's going to run this loosey goosey for the podcast anniversary, ma'am, you have another thing coming.
Oh dear.
You're not getting married next year. There will be no excuses.
Darn.
Yeah, I don't consider a honeymoon, which is a vacation, an excuse. So you have been warned in advance, and you get to know who the designers are before everybody else does.
Oh,
So you have
perfect.
extra time to pick your yarn and stuff. So
Excellent.
she's
I'm
so
going to pick
perfect. Like she
something.
didn't help me choose. Like I
That's fine. I'm bad at decisions.
just you said okay. I was like, hey, how about these guys? And you're like, perfect.
Let's
Like,
do it.
jeez. Oh, you're killing me. All right. There is the All the Sister or All in the Family Knit Along, which I technically have been participating in on and off all year through the Cozy Up Knit Sisters. You're supposed to knit each one of the sister shawls. I have 2 of the 4 sisters completed. I have to finish the other 2. The only big thing holding me back at this point is the Missoula made dress, which I've got to get finished really quickly. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, we don't have a ton in the way of knit alongs on the go or events at the moment. Just our sort of usual yarn on the go and whatever kind of creeps up that I go, yeah, I'd love to do. Next big thing for us is going to be Grinchmas.
Yep.
So the Grinch along hosted by the Knitmore girls. So that one, they go through all the details and they have all the rules because they run and they host. I just gleefully participate every year because it brings me great joy. So as of the last day at midnight of November this year, I will be done knitting Christmas presents for this year. That's it. I'm done. And I will knit for myself for my own pleasure. Now, if I want
Means
to knit gifts, that's cool. I
I
just
only have
can't do it for Christmas.
a knit and a half. Oof. A month and a half
A knit
to
and a
knit
half.
stuff. A knit and a half. You know what? Knit for brains over here.
You have very small amount of time because that December meetup date for us to exchange Christmas presents for the Knit Club is very early December because of Christmas parties and husbands.
In fact, nope. I know what I'm
So
doing, and it's half done.
good. That's
Just
a
need to
good
do
thing.
final
I know what I'm
assembly.
doing and I have to start, but I'm not terribly worried about it. I don't have a husband or husband staff parties to worry about. Makes my schedule a little easier.
Yeah, I guess we'll have 2 holiday parties to go to,
Yes,
work-wise.
you do.
And I'm not going to be just post-surgery this year, so I can actually
Yep.
properly enjoy the parties.
Yes, you can.
Yay!
Yes, you can.
I won't be tired by the time I get to the party.
It's true. But that's it, and that's all for us for this year. So I will start thinking about something to make for the project for 2019 to challenge myself. Nailed the 365-day challenge to learn to crochet. Totally bombed the sock making one. So I'm 1 for 1.
You learned how to make socks. That was kind of the point.
That was only half the challenge. So
You've got a couple more months. You can just bang out a lot of socks.
sure. In what world are you living in?
Start making worsted weight slipper socks.
I have to knit a sweater for my niece still at some point this year.
Good luck.
Thank you. Make a lot of shorty socks. My foot's still a lady's 10. It's still a lot of sock.
Not that much more sock than mine.
No,
I'm
but
a
it's a lot
9.
more than, say, red.
Yeah, okay. What does she have, like size 6?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She has pretty little dainty girl feet. She's gonna kick me next time she sees me. Jocelyn! Ooh, I'm in trouble. And I have the holiday craft market season coming up, so I'm about to get even busier. If that was even possible.
I've been
That's
wearing.
me.
I put these on just for the podcast. I totally forgot to mention. I have little spider earrings.
People can't see them over your headphones anyway.
But no, they're the big dangly ones. Wait. Okay, wait. I'll hold it up for the Jocelyn camera.
Yeah, everybody keeps, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you hold things up to the camera for other people to see, but that's not the camera I'm looking through.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. I showed everybody else my cheek for a few seconds, and then
That
the
works.
earring. Yeah.
That
So
works. That works.
I have dumb spider earrings to be in the spirit of Halloween or something.
All right. All right.
They're super dangly. I had to tie my hair back because I was gonna leave my hair down, and
That's
nope,
dangerous with dangly earrings, no
nope,
matter what
so
length of hair you
much
have.
nope. So it's back right now.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you, bless you, bless you,
Ow.
bless you. Oh, no fourth sneeze. Okay.
I usually have a fourth sneeze, so that's fine. All right. Well, I
All
say
right.
that's it for the week, and that wraps it up.
Yep.
Dinah's coffee's kicked in, so she probably will get a lot of work done once we're finished. But I'll
Uh,
say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
and I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you,
Don't
don't
forget
forget
to
to knit.
knit. That was
It
bad.
sounds so off on my
Yeah,
side.
it was bad.
Uh,